Hello, my name is Lindsay Tucker, and I would like to welcome you to an overview of my program portfolio. I'm a candidate for the Masters of Education in Educational Technology at the University of South Carolina, Aiken. Currently, I am in my 7th year of teaching math at North Augusta High School, where for the past 4 years I have coached varsity volleyball and been the technology coach for my school. When I first started thinking about my program portfolio, I decided that I wanted a theme or metaphor to be used throughout. I am not the most creative person, so I was clueless as to what I would use to tie everything together. I went looking for inspiration and found it in the statement of purpose that I wrote when applying to the program. At that time, I wrote, "As teachers, it is our responsibility to help students expand their horizons, to explore and understand what technology exists and how I can have a different, more positive influence on their lives." As soon as I read what I wrote, I knew expanding my horizon would be my theme. My portfolio has been organized by the Association for Educational Communications and Technology, or AECT standards for professional education programs. To show my growth throughout the program, I have included 2 artifacts for each of the 5 standards. I showed how my horizon was emerging at the beginning of the program and how it has since been expanded. I have included annotations for each artifact to explain the project and how it connects to the AECT performance indicators for each, as well as for the ADDIE instructional design process. Education has always been my passion. In one way or another, it will continue to be for the rest of my life. Right now, I am happy teaching math to high school students, and I plan to continue to use what I have learned through this program to effectively integrate technology and instruction. But I am also always open to other possibilities. And as you will see with many of my artifacts, I love training teachers how to use technology and programs required in our profession. One day that might lead me outside of the classroom, but for now, I love teaching math. I have also included my VTI as part of my program portfolio to show the education and experiences that have helped me grow and develop into the educator that I am today. Content knowledge is the first standard and requires candidates to create, use, and apply educational technologies. For EDET 735, I created an information site that included both research and technology to show how a Bring Your Own Device program supports universal design for learning. At this point in the program, I was familiar with creating websites with Dreamweaver. This allowed for me to focus my efforts on the content of the project. The 3 main principles of UDL are to have multiple means of representation, expression, and engagement in the learning environment. My website showed how this is possible with a BYOD program, which can assist with instruction, student production, best practices in the secondary education, and in the math classroom. Through this project, I addressed the AECT performance indicators of creating, using, assessing and evaluating, and ethics. I was also able to use and document all of the phases of the ADDIE process, except for the phase of implementation. Content pedagogy is the second AECT standard and requires candidates to develop as reflective practitioners who can effectively implement technology. Being able to effectively implement technology was one of my main reasons for beginning this program. I want to incorporate technology to enhance my instruction, not just to say that I use technology in my classroom. One of my favorite projects of this program was the Teach a Lesson activity, completed as part of EDET 603. I created a video presentation handout and included links to web resources as well as examples in order to teach my classmates about the free Web 2.0 tool, GeoGebra. The best part about this activity was learning about the tools that my classmates use in their classrooms to effectively use technology to enhance their instruction. This project addressed the performance indicators of creating, using, and managing. And although the ADDIE process was not required as part of this project, I used the analyze, design, develop, and implement stages to complete this project. The third standard is learning environments, which requires candidates to facilitate learning by creating, evaluating, and managing effective learning environments. During EDET 755, I worked with 3 other classmates to create and manage an online course. We used CourseSites.com as our learning management system. Unfortunately, the course has since expired, and I was unable to include screenshots for this artifact. My group, Full Steam Ahead, created the STEM 123 class, where our students participated in an 8-week course. As part of the requirements, they had 7 modules to complete, where reading, discussion posts, and quizzes were required. 2 big projects, a lesson plan and research paper, were also required. In my opinion, one of the most robust parts of our course that we developed was the resources page, where each of us included many resources that we found useful in STEM education. After the course was developed, our classmates participated as students in the course. They completed a few of the assignments while we interacted with them as instructors. Afterwards, they evaluated our course. Creating, using, and the diversity of learners were the performance indicators applied in the creation of our course, and all of the phases of ADDIE were used. The fourth AECT standard is professional knowledge and skills, which requires candidates to apply an instructional systems design process in a technology-rich learning environment. In EDET 746, I worked with a group to create a staff development program called Google Apps for Education. For this program, we had to use web-based tools to deliver the content. We decided to use Google Drive to do this so that teachers could become more familiar with the layout and the use of Google Apps while they were learning more about them. My main role was to create the training module for my coworkers to use for Google Docs, slides, and forms. I also presented this training to my department at North Augusta High School. This training program allowed for us to address the performance indicators of collaborative practice, leadership, and assessing and evaluating. Since this project was completed throughout the semester, each phase of ADDIE was fully documented and a paper was submitted as we completed each phase. Research is the final standard and requires candidates to explore and apply methods of inquiry to enhance learning. My first class of the program was EDET 780, and I participated in a group research paper called Seeking the Point of Diminishing Returns, Weighing the Benefits of Technology on Math Achievement in Algebra. As I previously stated, I began this program so that I could learn to effectively integrate technology into my instruction, and conducting this literature search and research paper definitely got my experience off on the right foot. The performance indicators addressed for this paper are theoretical foundations, method, assessing and evaluating, and ethics. It was not in the scope of this paper to actually conduct the research, so only the analysis and design phases of ADDIE were used. Upon reflection of my experience in this program, I am amazed at all I have learned. Yes, I started off this program wanting to learn how to effectively integrate technology into my instruction, which I have done. But I have also learned so much more. I have discovered that I enjoy helping others use technology, whether that be helping them integrate technology into their classrooms or by using technology to train them to be able to use specific programs or tools. My horizon has been expanded more than I ever imagined, and I look forward to continuing to grow as an educator and to helping my students expand their horizon and have the desire to become lifelong learners. Thank you for your time and the impact that you have had on my development as a technology leader.